So we're going to dive into chapter 4, which is about the design of life. It's about the design of the universe. And we were to read pages 95 to 104. I hope you've done that. The thing is that if you're not reading the book at all, you have no hope of probably your passing this class, which I remind you, this class is required for graduation. So if you don't pass it, you're taking it. But even if you just read it and you read it to get through it, sometimes I assign reading assignments in class and people are done in 5 minutes and it's 10 pages of difficult material. You might have read the words, but you didn't learn it. So you need to read for understanding. You need to read carefully because this isn't an easy class. So I don't know why this is funny. I hope that you are doing that because it's important. So the chapter is divine design, and the main idea is the teleological argument is one of the strongest arguments that prove the universe has an intelligent designer who created it from the beginning. The teleological argument is the argument for a designer of the universe. The cosmological argument is the argument for the beginning of the universe, that the universe is not eternal, that it had a beginning. And if it had a beginning, it had a beginner, right? Well, if the universe has a design, it has a designer. And so that's what we're talking about here. The main words in this are teleological argument, anthropic principle, anthropic constants, and we'll get into those things today. So here's where we are in our logical argument. The book follows a logical argument. So what we have studied already is it is true that the theistic God exists. This is evidenced by the beginning of the universe. That was chapters 1, 2, and 3. And then now we're on the design of the universe. And then we'll get to the design of life and the moral law later. So when you look at God's creation, what do you think about? What comes to your mind? So you're in the Rocky Mountains, which is where I'll be. Yeah.
When I think of creation, I think of nature and animals.
Okay. Let's say you're at the zoo and you're looking at all those interesting animals. What thoughts do you have? Especially spiritual thoughts. Okay, wow. Yeah.
The fact that he created giraffes, that they don't all have the same pattern, that they're all completely different.
Yeah, so he created all these different animals and he created each of them differently. That's why we talk about there are no two humans that are exactly alike. Even identical twins. What else do you think? Yeah. What? I got the God part. The sky. I didn't get any of it. The sky. And like a sunset. My favorite room that I had in college in terms of placement was on the 10th floor of the 10th floor dorm. And my desk was right by my window, and the window was, and it was so that's my phone. Sometimes I just stop it. Does it draw your mind to the Creator? His brilliance, His creativity. And I don't know why He made so many beautiful things. He must love beauty, right? In order to do that. The beauty and the precision and the immensity of God's creation. it should cause us praise him. I remember standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon and just wanting to sing how great thou art. It was just so amazing. So yeah, so the creation should point us to the Creator. Why do you believe the magnitude and magnificence of the universe could not possibly be an accident? Which is what atheists would tell us. It's one big cosmic accident. What would make you disagree with that? Yeah.
Like ecosystems and how food chains are like built up.
Okay, and how does that make you think it's not an accident?
Because everything has like its own specific role and its own specific place. Like, take like koalas and eucalyptus leaves. Like literally, like those leaves are poisonous to like everything but the koala. You know, and it's like that's like not.
And they both ended up in the same place. What are the odds, right? Yeah, the order of the universe, right? The order of our world points to God. What else? Why else does the magnificence and magnitude of the universe tell you that we could not possibly be? Anybody ever been in an accident, a car accident? Okay. So Briseida, what did the scene look like afterward?
I don't remember much.
So there was stuff scattered everywhere, haphazard, broken things. Yeah. Yeah. See, here's the thing. You don't take, say, 12 buckets of paint and you put them on a launcher and you launch them. You don't end up with the Mona Lisa, right? You end up with something that is chaotic, that is disordered, not something that is ordered. And if the universe is one thing, it is very ordered. It is not in disarray. So an accident, the universe is precisely fine-tuned. You don't get that from an accident, right? Any more than you can take pieces of metal and plastic and put them into a trash compactor and have a stereo or a computer. You can have the components, but an accident won't create them. And the universe is precisely fine-tuned. That doesn't happen by accident. But even if it did, even if it was an accident must have a cause. Accidents don't just happen. Think about car accidents. They don't just happen. Somebody had a heart attack, somebody got drunk, somebody was looking, somebody was speeding. There's always a reason for that. There's always a cause. And nothing is not a cause. Well, the universe came out of nothing. Nothing is not a cause. And so we're gonna talk about the teleological argument. And it says that that there's a cause, just like everything that had a beginning had a cause. The universe had a cause. The teleological argument is going to go alongside. So the third question is, what proofs can you offer that support the divine design of the universe? The teleological argument is what you should have. It is the argument for the design of the universe. So moving on to a quick one. What does the teleological argument mean and why is it important to know? What is the teleological argument? Like, I want you to write it out first. I want you to write out the actual argument. So what is it, Mary?
Every design has a designer. The universe has a highly complex design, and therefore the design.
Yeah, so every design had a designer. Oh! Somebody designed these tables, designed these chairs, designed that bookshelf. That was my husband. Everything that you see that was made by someone had a design. The universe has a complex design. Therefore, the universe had a designer. Now, we're not saying that's God yet. We'll get there. But something or someone designed the universe in order for it to be as precisely tuned as it is. So because the universe has a highly complex design, it must have a designer. And that's important to know because the assumed belief in the secular world is that the universe is an accident that appears to be designed, and that is what the atheistic scientists say. Yes, it absolutely appears to be designed. In fact, Richard Dawkins, I heard him in a debate one time. Richard Dawkins is the most famous atheist on the planet. And here's what he said in a debate with a Christian. He said, the universe, appears to have been designed. Oh, no, he said evolution is the belief that the universe that appears to have been designed actually came about through random chance. So even Richard Dawkins, the most famous atheist on the planet, admits that the universe is well designed, and it appears to be designed not just for life to exist. It appears to have been designed so that human beings can live on. The whole thing seems to be a setup, in a good sense, for us. That's no accident. This is important to know because the assumed belief is that the universe is an accident and it just appears to be designed. I asked you about accidents. So when my daughter was probably a sophomore in high school, she was 16. She hadn't been driving very long. And I had a brand new, and the only, I had never had a new car. I'd only had used cars. We'd only had used cars. And we bought a brand spanking new Kia Sorento. I got a call one day. Katie was out with a friend in the Sorento from her friend's father. And he said, the girls have been in an accident. They're fine. It wasn't Katie's fault. But your car is a mess. So he came to get me because I was home without a car. And I just was a couple of blocks away. And we got there, and indeed, it was a chaotic scene. Katie was driving up a hill on Lincoln Road, and a truck crested the hill, and she saw so she's here, and the truck's here, and the truck's doing this, and Katie's doing this. By the time the truck hit Katie, she was completely stopped, and they could see no people in the truck. The driver admitted that they were both asleep. They were not wearing seatbelts. They were both transported by ambulance to the hospital. Katie and Ellis were fine. And the cop said to them, had you not been wearing your seatbelts, this would have been a very different accident. My car was completely on the other side of the road. It had been off the road over here. It was way over here. It was probably 5-6 car lengths down, facing the other direction. And if I have pictures of it, I would show you sometime. And the entire front end was gone. Here's the thing. That had a cause. A tired girl chose to drive when she shouldn't have been driving. She fell asleep, and that was the cause of that. But it didn't create something purposeful. It didn't create something beautiful. It didn't create something ordered. It created chaos. The universe is ordered. The universe is beautiful. The universe is highly designed. To believe that the universe does not have a designer is to throw logic into it. Because anything else you would see, you wouldn't say, oh, look at that painting back there. Somebody must have just thrown a bunch of paints onto the painting. It wasn't. Look at the posters that my students have made throughout the years. These are the different verse mapping things. You wouldn't look at any of these and assume it was an accident. What I get asked is, who made that? Who made that? I have in the summer we'll have people touring with their parents to maybe come here, and almost every time when they walk in, these parents ask me, who made that? Of one or another of these things. Nobody said, what accident caused that? Because they're obviously there to find, right? And the same is true of the universe. The universe is obvious. Who were the two famous scientists? We're on page 32 now. Who were the two famous scientists who confirmed the validity of the teleological argument? Yes. Isaac Newton and William Paley. Isaac Newton and William Paley. What common sense assertion did William Paley give in support of the teleological argument? Yeah. Right, a watch and a watchmaker. So you're walking along in Fontenelle Forest and you see a diamond-studded Rolex watch on the ground. And you don't think, wow, rain and rain or wind patterns must be really crazy in this forest because they created this watch. No, you think, oh wow, somebody lost a really expensive watch. Now I gotta decide, do I take this or do I, give it to the lost and found and say, $15,000 watch? Nobody would ever think that happened by accident. And that's what William Paley is saying. You don't see a watch on the ground and think that natural forces created it. You know that it was designed. You know that it was created. Carefully created. By the way, I got a new clock, so now you can see the clock.
It's so vintage.
Isn't that great? I love it. If it wasn't $20, matching. Yeah, that was William Paley's assertion. So what is the anthropic principle and why is it important? First, tell me what the anthropic principle is. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, but first of all, anthropic means having to do with humans or man. But yeah, so the anthropic principle is this concept that all scientists believe that the universe is extremely fine-tuned to support human life on Earth. Not just our solar system. Our solar system is also extremely fine-tuned, but the entire universe appears to have been created just so human beings could live on Earth. sounds to me what the Bible teaches. It's also what the science teaches. That's so we're going to stop here because this is where we stopped with my other class. And we'll pick up here. We'll finish these tomorrow really quickly. And you'll take your test. And then we need to get to a movie. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this really fast. We're going to do this really fast. Yeah. Okay, so what's the first anthropic constant? Yeah. Oxygen level. What's the oxygen level on Earth?
21%.
21%. By the way, these anthropic constants are the fine tuning, right? So if you change any of these, and there are many of them, and some of them just a little bit, there's no life on Earth. There's no life. There's no human life. There's no life on Earth. So, so the oxygen level is 21%. What would happen if it were 25%? 4% higher. What?
Catch on fire.
Everything would be on fire. The whole world would be on fire. What if it were 15%? Just 6
We'd suffocate.
We'd suffocate. We wouldn't be able to breathe.
Right in the middle.
So what's the second anthropic constant? Yeah. Atmospheric transparency, which, for lack of a scientific term, it's the thickness of the atmosphere. And so, so what would happen if it were a little thicker?
We would be bombarded with too
Thicker. Not enough solar radiation.
Oh, less.
Yeah. And we'd all freeze to death.
Nice.
Or not, we would, yeah, we'd all freeze to death. What if there were just a little bit more, what if it was a little bit thinner, excuse me? Yes.
Then would we?
Yes. Yes, we would. Yeah. What's the third anthropic constant?
Moon Earth gravitational interaction.
Right. So the gravity of the moon pulls on the Earth, and the gravity of the Earth pulls on the moon. And the Earth has a little bit more gravity, right? But they pull on each other at a very specific level. So what if that gravitational pull was greater?
Tidal effects on the ocean, atmosphere, rotational theory.
Right. The climate would be out of control. Our weather would be unstable. And then what if it were less? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's climatic instabilities. Okay, if it was greater, that's right. Tidal atmosphere rotation would be too severe. Yeah, and then climatic stabilities if it were less. What is anthropic constant number 4? Yeah.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide level. We need a specific oxygen level, but we also need a specific carbon dioxide level to stay alive. So if it were higher, we'd have runaway greenhouse effect. So everything would burn up. And if it what?
That's just.
Yeah. And if it were less, there'd be no photosynthesis going on in the plants. So either way, either way, there's no life. No photosynthesis, and we all burn up. What is the 5th anthropic constant? Gravity. And even a tiny change with our gravity, yes, just a minuscule change, there'd be no sun and no solar system. Just the gravitational field. It is mind-boggling how fine-tuned our universe is, our solar system. It's mind-boggling. So we're going to end with that, which means tomorrow we will take your Old Testament, New Testament test first, and then we're going to start a movie that will take us through the 3 days that we have next week. Okay? And I think,
Then after
I
that,
think you will enjoy it.
then after that, it's
Yep.
not after that, the weekend after those 2 weeks. Basketball.